G'day everyone, welcome to Steel Horse Station. Hope you're all enjoying a good first week in 2023. A bit dry this morning, and we're going back to Newlands, which we might pretty much jump into. G'day Hodge173, welcome along. Great to have you here. I have just put some narrow tires on, so let's jump over there. Let's get the correct screen on the screen, something like so. So I was just investigating whether in fact I can get narrow tires on the John Deere, which we can. Because when I was wandering around after the last episode, or last stream, I realised that whilst we'd fertilised the... if we have a look at the fertilising states, we'd fertilised the grass, but actually not fertilised our crop. So I was... so our grass is in reasonably good shape. It's a bit spotty because I did a bunch of it before I got the sensor sorted out. Yeah, we need some fertilizer on our barley and our canola. So that's one of the jobs we'll be taking care of today. We also need to plant the, we can't plant the corn until next month. We need to decide what we're going to plant in our little triangle field here, and I'm leaning towards grass, and then we'll reverse over and plant soybeans in the field where we've currently got, not soybeans, sugar beet in the field where we've currently got grass is part of my thought, but there's scope to change that based on people's inputs. Hodge1, it's really great to have you here. I am expecting, and looks like somebody else has joined us. I am guessing that the best we can hope for today will be a few lurkers, because I discovered as I was just setting up to log in and switched on that FSG is in fact streaming at the exact same time, and I am under no illusions that I am not going to be much competition in terms of pulling an audience with FSG. So if you weren't aware, this can be an ad as well. If you weren't aware and you're an FSG follower, then yes, he does have a stream that's starting, may have just started as well. So if you want to be watching that, go right ahead. If you don't, I'd love to have you here, of course. And I'm going to continue because we've got stuff we need to do, and anyone that's interested can always catch up on the stream afterwards. So that is currently my plan, but also a bit of an ad for FSG, not that he needs one. I think he is doing pretty well. I must say I did enjoy his revised whatchamacallit, the bunker silo update on leveling a bunker silo, and we will be utilizing that the next time we need to do that job. Let's go to sell. Now while we're over here, oh, that was the wrong button, wasn't it? We want to go to load. What am I doing? Brain in neutral. I'm gonna back out of there. Why are you misbehaving? That's better. So the other thing we need to be doing, if we head over here, is just to check the store, because I'm not sure what's in the sale. There was a cedar and plant. Well, there was a planter, but I think we missed out on that. That is herbicide, right? Let's go here. There is a cedar, and so I'm thinking we should pick that up because the cedar we have is leased. So I think we're going to buy that guy while he's there. Now, the other thing that we also need while we're here, and we've got a little bit of cash, is for the first time we have some milk. And so we need a cheap milk tanker. And 25, 9.5 is feeling pretty good. 7,300 litres. An IT runner milk tanker. Now there's something I haven't tried before. Given we've got the little IT runner packs, why don't we go with one of those? We can drop it in the right spot. When it's full, take it to deliver it. So I'm thinking that that might be the way to go. So what we'll do is buy one of those. And then we can come over here later with an IT runner trailer and pick it up. Now, why have I got in my mind? I didn't write notes. There's something else that we require, and I just can't remember what it is at the minute. Never mind. Let's get back to the ranch. We need fertilizer. That's what we need to purchase. I knew there was something else. So drop you off the back. Drop you off the front. And we should all be good. All right, let's pull this out just to see if we've actually got any seed in it. We need to go load up some more trees. There is seed in it. And so what I was... Let's just empty it out and get rid of it. Although that's a drill, isn't it? Let me have a look. I can't remember. In here, cedars. No, it's just a regular cedar, so there's no point in worrying about that. I was going to say we could just seed that grass field while we're here, but let's just unload the seed and then we can go and return it. That was a handy little unit. I would have one of those again. Now, we need to drive over and pick up some fertilizer. So what I wanted to experiment with, let's do it this way. Let's drop you off the front. Grab the Bremerwagen. Because what I want to experiment is whether the global bags that we've got, I think they will attach directly on the front. So we might as well take one for delivery if we've got to drive over there anyway and pick up some fertilizer. Kill two birds with one stone, so to speak. We can put the time back up. Now, one of the things that I've done since the last stream is investigated a bit why that distributor was not distributing as I expected. And I think, so I have a theory which we can look at just while we're here. So if we have a look, I don't know if I fixed it, is the first thing. So the distributor, if you weren't with us last time, the problem we were having, it was distributing water fine. And we introduced the new farm production silo. We upgraded our silos, and that meant all of our water went over there. But it wasn't distributing seeds and fertilizer hardly at all. And what I observed was that the cycles per month were really low, even though we've upgraded it a couple of times, and really and disproportionately low compared to the water. So seeds and fertilizer were down at sort of 1 per game hour, whereas there was like 100 in the water. So what I've done is change the cycles to be the same, just in case there's some weird rounding that goes on that was causing it to be not to distribute or hardly distribute any seeds and fertilizer. So we're going to let that run. And we know we've got 20,000 seeds and 3,000 fertilizer, which should at 8 o'clock significantly change. Now, what we want to do here is grab those. I'm hoping we'll clip straight onto there. They will. We can then pick up. And we'll drive to town with those in a moment. We'll just get the truck going first. So we need you out of there. Given everybody's watching it on replay, we'll do it properly. With the exception of Hodge 1, who is lurking very politely. Actually, we've got a couple of people looking, so it's great to have you here. Just drop that off there, and that should enable these to load. Looks like they're ready to be pushed along. How's that doing? Yep, loading up steadily. Thank you very much, Hodge 1. How's your first week of 2023 been? You're allowed to mess things up. I do it all the time, in case you haven't noticed. I'm a good messer. We're just waiting for these trees to load. Come on. Why have you stopped? Excellent. Good to hear. I forget, what map are you playing at the moment? Okay, 6,900. I reckon we're going to sell those because the cash will be required for fertilizer. We don't yet have enough. Ah, right, yes. That's right. That's right, we were having that discussion about horseplay, weren't we? Oops, don't park it in that spot. That's where I have to put... the pallet when I return. So let's go here. Send you off to the sell point. Oh, cool. You enjoying Silver Run? I'm really enjoying the series I'm doing on there. That's good fun. Jake and Paige have got a good thing going. Although I've been a little bit slow over the holiday season and other real world distractions, which are positive. Let's get around the corner before he does. And yes, I could have put a couple more on the back, but I'll wait till they fill up a little bit. This will be enough. I just wanted to see how maneuverable this was likely to be going into the yard while into the market while the bollards were down. I've only tried multiplayer a couple of times, and admittedly, very good. Admittedly, the best experience was with Argsy, but generally speaking, I just found the lag annoying, which would well be a function of just physical location relative to where the server and a couple of the other players were. And the ones I tried, which were more locally hosted, I wasn't on at a time when other people were using them. And so it was kind of like I was battling with the lag on a map that I wasn't necessarily familiar with, a farm that other people had set up that I didn't want to mess up, and sporadic lag, and I like, that wasn't working for me. I could see how it could, I could see how it would be a lot of fun with a group of mates, where you were all working to the same thing, and as you say, if the communication was all set up well, that would work really well, because then lag becomes only a minor problem that you just adjust for. It's more about the fun you're having with your mates. So anyway, for the moment, I'm finding kind of the streaming. It's been really interesting since I've started making. You know, it's been about 6 months, almost 6 months that I've been making videos, and probably 4 months that I've been doing some streaming. And I have oops, wrong one. Try that again. And I've had so little time to play because the combination of preparing for streams, doing stream, oh goodness, done it again. And then videos and editing and all that is just so time consuming, particularly when you're a bit of a novice at it, so everything sort of takes a little bit longer. Well, that's what the pond's for, right? Washing equipment. Yes, the thing that got me, the map that one of the maps that I played a little bit on had a couple of bridges, and so you'd sort of come down a slope towards a fairly high bridge, and on your screen you'd be driving in the middle of the road. Now what have we got on the front? We've got lettuce. So lettuce sells. Yeah, see, this would be a struggle to get through there, wouldn't it? On the front of that, there's the lettuce sell point, I think. It's here. But you drive down the middle of the road. No, that's not the lettuce sell point. The lettuce sell point's back at the door. And the next thing you know, you're in the ravine by the river because you weren't actually on the road at all, especially when it snowed. So, been there, done that. I also ended up tangled in fences in an impossible manner a few times, which is all difficult. Why is that not selling? I'm sure there's a sell point there. Oh. Where's it gone? There it is. It's just higher than I thought. It's not actually on the ground. Okay. So, pick you up. So they sold. I'm betting the trees didn't sell again. All of a sudden, the trees have stopped selling at that sell point. I don't know what I've done to auto drive. It was working perfectly. We'll get the fertilizer sorted. Get that truck heading back. So we want... We got 17,000 there, so let's see. I reckon buy plenty because we need it for the other. Let's buy it. I can't afford another lot until I sell the trees. Oops. Where's the truck? There it is. If the tailgate on this would go down, it would be fine, but I just need an open backed tray that just holds the pallet up just a fraction too high. I sent it on stumps. Yes, I know exactly what you mean. the I can manage to do that quite successfully on single player with no lag. So multiplayer is just, yeah, that's easy. What are you doing? Why all of a sudden are you misbehaving? You're on the course. Very strange. Okay. Got enough money to buy another few bags of fertilizer, so let's just pop down there. Let's see here. Let's buy them. 8 bags of fertilizer, I should say. Right. And we're going to load the... Oh, maybe I can auto-load on this trailer. I can't remember. I probably can, actually. I can. That makes it a bit easier. Then we'll come back and get the other 8 later. I could probably have put that fertilizer in the bag here on the front, but I'm not sure how to get it out if I do that. Maybe we'll try that. That'll be an interesting experiment. Let's just, while I think of it. Ah, very good. Very good. I would imagine a few people got platinum for Christmas, so they'll be having good fun with it, no doubt. There's lots of good stuff there. It'd just be really nice if, yeah. Do I have to take... No, I don't want to take you off. I want to put you down. And are you going to load fertilizer or not? You will not. Okay. So you only load things when I don't want you to, is the answer. Let's just back out of here and head back to the ranch. I'm on steering trailers. Sometimes I swear they're more trouble than they're worth. Righty ho. Yeah, having played on a Silver Run for a few hours now, there's only a couple of really small things that are minor in the scheme of things, but nonetheless, for my sort of style of play, I would have just liked Giants to finish, to be honest. One is the textures. So it makes no sense to me that you've only got 6 or 8 textures in the landscaping menu, and they're not representative of all the textures that are used on the map. And so as a consequence, if you edit the map and add things and want to fix the landscaping, you can't make it look the same, which is just annoying, and it's just a a completion thing. And then the other one is that, which is probably more technical, in the big sawmills, there's an enormous amount of wasted space, or unutilized space, which are the decorative objects that sort of make up the sawmill. And there's lots of playthroughs where it'd be really neat to be able to remove some of those piles of wood, so that you could use that space for more easily for placeables, for example. So you can put placeables over the piles of wood objects, you can force them to place, but the trouble is that some of those piles of wood are so huge that they distort the placeable. Now, what do I want here? I want you to wait there for the minute. So they're my two peeves for the map, but the rest of it I really like. Oh, and I probably would like the ability to do something with deadwood. So actually have a function for it would have been nice, whether it's a particular placeable that could use it, you know, a cottage industry for carving it or something, who knows, some use. Now we will use you for those. Oops. Yeah, it certainly would make more sense to me if you could wood chip it. So in setting up the storyline for Jake and Paige, I've experimented a bunch of times to see if I could find something useful that I could make the deadwood do, whether it's wood chips or the firewood or anything like that, but I have yet to sort something out. I certainly had plenty of concepts that I explored, they just didn't work. Let's just put you around here quickly. But never mind, there's, like everything, you just try not to get too hung up on the little things that irritate you and go back to the important stuff. Now, I reckon what I should do is send you back to the store with an IT runner. Where are the IT runner backs? They're over there. Oh, the dollies rather. The sugar beet that we put last time into our little BGA finished processing rather quickly. We'll have a look at that in a second. Let's just pop this over here. Then we can send. Yeah, well, that's a good example, Hodge One. That was the sort of thing that, whoops. Wrong button. I was thinking, you know, oh, well, deadwood, okay, I get that it's got no regular wood value, but if you take it to a heating plant, they should be able to burn it and it should be worth something. But that wasn't the case. Now, where am I trying to go? I want you to go across to... Exactly. Yeah, that was my experience as well. That the sawmill businesses were very good historically, in my limited experience, have been very good at figuring out how to use all their waste products. And anything that's left over, they burn. Now, what am I doing here? We're looking for vehicle buy sell, aren't we? Anyway, I'm hoping that when at some point during the course of the year, I fully expect Giants to unlock or release some information, or even through modders, and a mod will emerge that allows you to use deadwood in some capacity. It's because it's all defined there. It's just a matter of somebody identifying it, and that was the thing I couldn't figure out how to do, was how do you, what have they actually called it in the code, so that when it gets dropped in a trigger, you recognize it as deadwood and can convert it into something. That'll be easy enough once we know what it is. So, right, we were doing fertilizer, weren't we? Got nothing more. Oh, we're out of money again. So that will be, we've gone into the negatives because that truck we use is leased. Let's turn a couple of these tractors off and let's go and fertilize field. The turning circle's a bit better with these narrows on. We'll put the sensor on and the weight on the front. Excellent. Yeah, how much further we got? 3,000 litres, right, yeah. That'll be a good start. I was going to show you the BGA that we put down last time, so where are we up? Let's have a look. Have we gone past 8 o'clock? Have we? So at least we've distributed some seeds by the looks. We still didn't distribute any fertilizer. That's really bizarre. Or not a meaningful amount of fertilizer. I don't understand why. Something very odd happening. It's almost like there's an outright volume cap that a production can't distribute. My next test will be to try and distribute. I'll turn off the distribution of the water and see if that made a difference. It didn't before. I did try that test before I made the change. Now let's go here. I need to check how to turn my sensor on. Is Alt B. I need to unfold it first, I suspect. And now we can turn that off there. You shouldn't be destructing crop. No. And that should, whoops, fertilizing half the planet. There we go. The next field as well. Well, that's the thing running a sawmill too, right? What's true in any business I've been associated with. If you've got stuff left over, you have to find something to do with it, or handling of it just becomes an expense, which you don't want. You know, it was in the IT businesses that I've been associated with, you know, getting rid of old equipment was always a challenge for that reason. I think I'm just going to go all the way across the bottom here. because we know both fields need it. There we go. And it auto detects, so we can go that way. As I expected, looks like everybody's gone to FSG, so I certainly appreciate you staying and chatting to me, Hodge One. There are a couple of... well, I don't think there is anyone at the minute. I've had a couple of people pop in and out, but they have not hung around. Maybe just to see what was happening. Yeah, the fact that my trailer is still, well, my worker is still incurring cost bothers me, so let's just get to the end of this loop, because he should be comfortably, if he hasn't crashed. Oh no, he's just doing it the hard way. We might. Are you going to turn in properly, or are you going to be... no. Why did you not turn in there? And more importantly, why did you not turn in coming from the other direction? Very odd. Right. We want to hook up to the milk tanker. How tight can you turn? Snow in game is mainly visual. It does affect traction, but it's pretty minor. It's kind of enough there that you can make it into your gameplay. So the blades clear it off the roads and those sort of things. So that works fairly well. And a couple of people have made mods that you can, like there's a production, whoops, that will take the snow and produce meltwater. So if you wanted to, you know, do something like that and clear it off the tracks on your property, it would give you somewhere to put it. But for the most part, I get the impression that most people just sort of skip through that time of the year. And depending on how realistic you play, it just sort of slows down if you've got any particular field work or things that you were otherwise planning to do. Otherwise, it's looks pretty. Lots of the buildings are really well done in terms of how they deal with it. Let's not spend you. Let's just drive you back. You'll be back in a second. We can check out how much milk our cows have produced. I was pleasantly surprised to see the milk. It appeared, it looks like they're producing a heap of it, given we've only got a few cows. The thing I'm enjoying about the logging side of it, logging's not my most favourite thing, but there are lots of different ways to go about it now. So, you know, they've only introduced a couple of extra bits of equipment, but the options that's introduced and the way the tree models work and the physics are just that little bit better on Silver Run, that you've got lots of different ways of getting logging jobs done now. And if you play with it a bit, you sort of can find one that works for you. You don't have to do it all as the big business heavy engineering logging operation necessarily, nor are you restricted to, you know, a basic trailer and a chainsaw. There's just so many options. The way I ended up doing it in the last Jake and Page video, so cutting the trees, dragging them with the winch. Now which side is the milk actually on? It's on that side. Move you out of the way. Dragging them into a pile and then using the tractor processor head to process them and then load them into a container. I actually quite enjoy. You know, it's kind of a fun series of steps. I can handle the equipment pretty well. Oh, thank you. The one step I'd like to get a slightly better solution. Is that going to refill up there? Yes, it will. How much milk have we got? 5,500 litres. Now that strikes me as rather a lot for 12 cows. We're out of base food in there now. But we do need to feed the cows. We're out of power food. So what was base food for the cows? So we used our mixer wagon, didn't we? We might do that after we've finished the fertilising. And we'll take the milk to sell it shortly. I'll just put you over here. Turn off. Now, where were we? Fertilising. All our jobs interleaved. Now, we need to turn around and go and find a part of the field that we haven't done here. Let's see. Is that strip? You can bet your life that strip's going to be just wider. Let's see here. Yeah, it's just wider. I don't want to leave anything on the left, so we'll make sure we've covered the left and we'll tackle it in the... Whoops, that's what I was trying to avoid doing. I'm just watching the mini map as I drive. The other thing I like about the logging piece too is if you're creative, you can find quite cost-effective methods. Let's see here. You're gonna want to go sort of up line like so, aren't you? So you're not forced to use the really expensive equipment. Oops. There we go. Although if you want to and you like the really... Come on. Why have you... Oh, we've run out of fertilizer. I'm looking at it saying, why are you not spreading fertilizer? But it's empty. That would do it every time. Why am I stuck? I turned you off. That's really interesting. It ran out of fertilizer. I turned it off, but it still only wants to go at 11 miles an hour. Well, I try to create situations that then need, or problems that then need solving. You know, and it was one of the ones when you look at the price of some of that equipment. I figured, you know, your average, if I'm doing a farm playthrough rather than a logging company, your average farm's not going to have, you know, a $300,000 log processing plant or $500,000 log processing plant. They just wouldn't need it. They might hire a contractor with one of those every now and again if there was a really big job to do, but it just wouldn't fit with my idea of what Jake and Paige are trying to do with the farm. That said, they need to clear. Well, I sort of went more old school and said, well, how would they have done that? And the answer is with, you know, and particularly what I sort of believe to be Jake's background, just cobble together some. That's how problems get solved in the bush in this country. You just kind of, you know, you got a bit of this and a bit of that. Every now and again, your local stock and station agent comes up with a piece of equipment that they've got access to that you can use to help you out. So that's very much the model, and then it was just a matter of looking around. And I really enjoy watching Mr. Sealy P. Yeah, what's at hand, exactly. Well, there's a saying that I picked up from visiting New Zealand a couple of times. You know, there's not many problems you can't fix with a number 8 baling wire. And it's kind of that mindset that says, well, I don't need to buy anything. I just, you know, use what's on hand and solve that way. And so when you start looking at problems that way, you find all sorts of solutions. And that's why I enjoy watching Mr. Sealy P, because he part of the way he demos mods and things. And why is this not? There we go. Sort of has that mindset, and so every now and again he comes up with an idea or an angle that I think, oh, okay, I could either use that or I could adapt it in a slightly different way. And in some ways it's kind of, you're helped if you're not an expert in these things. So, you know, when there's a piece of equipment that's supposed to be used in a particular way, if you're not skilled, you're not necessarily constrained. Whoops, I didn't quite want to do that, but never mind. I wanted to get that strip I missed back up here. You're not necessarily constrained by how to do things if you're unskilled. So it's about retaining that childlike the example I use is often is, you know, if you take a group of adults and put them in a room and give them a paper clip and ask them how many uses you can make of the paper clip, they'll come up typically on average with a lot shorter list than a group of kids that you give the same challenge to, because the older we get, the more we sort of use our experience sometimes to filter out stuff that won't work rather than just give it a go. So you, once you recognize that's a constraint, you can adapt the way you go about things to try it. So, well, okay, let's give it a whirl. We had someone pop in and pop out. Never mind. Rightio, so this is coming along. Yeah, outside the box to an extent. It's an element of it. It's just the way the weird way I think about things. Like everything, there are situations where that's useful. There are situations where that's a problem. Okay, so now we have fertilizer. So that looks, if we go and have a look at our fields, so that looks a lot better. What month are we in? We're in March. No, we didn't lime. I assume that was lime rather than line. So that was deliberate. We didn't have a piece of kit that would spread it at the time that we needed to, and nor did we have the time before we put the crop in. But after, it's a question about whether, I don't know if I need lime in the cornfield. It's probably a good pickup. We probably should lime the cornfield. What is... That's Lupracil. Let's see. Let's give some thought. And while we're giving thought, what we'll do is feed the cows. And we need to make a mix. We should have all the ingredients we need. Do now a little. What have I got? Should come up with the menu. Maybe I've got to go beside the. There we go. So grass silage and maize silage, which are both in the tank over there, and then we can put anything else with it we like. Beet pulp we don't have. We'll put some straw in, so let's use that. Looks like it's got grass silage already in that. In the tipper. Oh, that's what I decided. This. There we go. Tips out. This is not quite a high enough lift. That's why we got the other front end loader. Just can't get enough angle to empty the bucket. Well, at least not quickly. It's a bit slow. Welcome along, whoever's popped in. Great to have you here. Thanks for joining Hodge One and I. Hodge One's in Canada, and we are on Newlands. So we're having a bit of fun here, just feeding the cows, which have just produced their first milk. So I'm happy about that. We'll leave that sitting there. So we'll make a feed mix. Cue off there. Right, let's go. Pick up this bucket. Now, so that's about 12,000 litres, so we probably want another bucket. What's in there? See, there's an example. There's snow. Don't know how I've got snow, but whatever I was doing last accumulated some snow. It'll be interesting to see, having poured that out now, whether that will melt sitting there on the ground. I've got no idea. Right, so there's full... I need a weight. Where is there a weight? There's one over there. Don't believe this tractor came with wheel weights, but there is a proper weight sitting over here behind the Luprasil. I think there was. There is. Just got to figure out how I can get in there to pick it up. The tank's in just the wrong spot. That's what we want. Right. That should work more effectively. Well, that makes no sense. How can that? No way known. That's like a 1 ton weight on there. It is. It's a 1 ton weight on the back. That is really annoying. I don't have a front loader attacher on there. I'm pretty sure I don't on the John Deere. Why is that such an issue? What else can I use to allow me to pick that up? Put it down lower, maybe. No. He just does not want to move that. Tremendous. And we make a mess. Not sure how that works either. How can I still have 200 litres, 2,000 litres? Okay, that's interesting. So that's what the problem is. Somehow I managed to pick up substantially more than 2,000 litres. Very bizarrely. I have not had that experience before. But that explains my disbelief at why I was overweight. So it had a whole heap in it, but it's left me 2,000 in the bucket, which is what I was expecting, which I should be able to handle easily. So I think what I need to do be interesting as I grab the maize silage to see what happens here. So I wonder if it's a bunker silo thing. So that's full and that's working properly. I wonder if that was a funny thing with the silo because it wouldn't let me dump it back into the silo. Probably need to landscape out that little green patch in the middle of the yard there. It doesn't make a lot of... Oh, maybe just make it smaller. So how are we going with mix here? So that's 6,000. And I've filled it up again. It's a bug with this bucket. And it's an interaction between the bucket and the silo because I can't. It lets me overfill the bucket, but then I can't tip the excess out until I get outside the silo, like so. Something very bizarre happening. Like so. That is very odd. When we get there in the end, just makes a bit of a mess in the process. So this mix that we're doing is going to be 4,000 of maize silage, 4,000 of grass silage. Because we've got plenty of straw, I'm thinking we can put up to 20% straw in. So what we might do how much is in that bale sitting by the door? About the right amount. 2,700 and 30, yeah. So we don't quite want all of that. Which attacher have I got on the back of that? Probably need a little bit more of maize and a little bit more of... I don't think I want all that bale. I just want... Whoops. Don't want a full bucket. I want like 1,000 litres. That'll do. 1,200 I can live with. He makes a mess and tips them on the floor. Good job. Just pressed the wrong button. That's better. That snow doesn't want to melt, does it? $1,400 will do. Not a big dish. Rightio. Bit involved, but okay, I'm pretty happy with that. We'll go pretty close, I reckon. Thank you. Now, let's pop you down. Oops. Pleasant View Farms, welcome along, sir. Hope you are enjoying the first week of the year. We're just making a bit of a mix here for our cows. Trying to avoid to... We're using Maize Plus, so it's proving a little bit fiddlier than normal. Now, I don't want to go all this bale. Well, let's just see what that mix is like. I'm full. It's a realistic mixture. And I think it's okay. Yes, it is. How about that? Didn't make too much mess. Cows have just produced their first milk, Pleasant View. So it's been a while coming. I'm very well, having a good week. It's a bit slow emptying out. Let's get that, what's left of a bale off the top of that hoist there. Pop you down over here. And . we've got snow in the middle of our yard in March, and it is not showing any signs of wanting to melt. Let's put that weight beside the bucket, because that's when I'll most likely need it again. And you're all set to go and do the milk delivery in just a minute when we figure out where to deliver the milk to. Okay, fields are... Let's see how that worked with the cows. So, cow feed. So the cows are looking a little bit better. They could do with at least another one of those, I'd reckon. What about the pigs? Pigs are getting a bit low. They're out of protein food, which I think we've got to take out of the silo. And the sheep are doing all right. When do the pigs breed again? That's what we've got to keep an eye on. 2 more months. Because the last time these 20 pigs bred, they gave us 40. And when these new ones, they haven't reached puberty yet. So that's okay. It's going to be a nice little money spinner, those pigs. Now let's just have a look at pigs. 30%. Yeah, so that's the brewer's grain, which we've got in the silo over there. Because we don't have any brewer's grain silage. And we're growing canola, which ultimately we will feed them. So we'll get that after we've taken the milk. Let's turn you off. And check the milk out. So, milk. The dairy is the best spot. Let's have a look. There's probably only one option on this map, is there? Where are we? Yeah, there it is. Oh no, there's 2. No, there's not much in it. And the price doesn't fluctuate a huge amount. Not that it makes any difference. So where is the dairy, he says? Ah. Dairy, tag it. Right over there. Well, let's head off to the dairy and see if we can get our cash back into the positives. 5,000 litres of milk. Won't do too bad. And then we can... I am thinking grass in that little section of field just there, because ultimately I think I want to join part of it onto the barley field. Haven't really decided. And we're corn planting, of course, is next month. Oh, it's a bit heavy. It's a lot heavy. I don't have any more ranges. Can't go any lower. Come on, up and over the rise there, champ. Yep, run out of gears. It's interesting, in second range I can get Slightly faster than in low. Oof, working up the gears. Yes. Yes, that's our old fortress is working its way through the box. Nice looking machine though. Got everything we need. Now, where is this dairy? We've not been there before. It was definitely hunting, yes. What I liked was the, I don't know if you noticed the animation in the cab, but the guy was diving back and forward for the lever. Yeah, that looks like the dairy on the right there. Where's the road in? We have to go in here? Maybe no. Oh, it's at the back there. Okay. Will we get an overload message? Let's find out. Let's just jump out of the cab here. Can't overload here. I might have to turn that triggers on. I can't remember on this building where the trigger is. I've seen the building before, but let's see. Triggers. Oh, it's not where I am. That's there we go. It's right there. Just for my sanity. No. Okay. Let's get out of cab. It's a bit too tricky. Why does it look like there's no dump trigger? That looks like a load trigger. Come on. Note for next time. This trail is too heavy for this tractor. Now, we may also be too high here. Let's try. Why do I feel like I'm on the wrong trigger? It doesn't want to drop. Let's see here. I reckon the drop trigger's around here, even though it's not showing. Wouldn't be the first missing trigger I've encountered. Let's drive you around. We'll go forwards. I discovered a missing trigger for flowers at the farmers market between episodes. Let's just see here. Flow process. Interesting. Let's try that. No. Unless I had the wrong container. That's always a chance. Selected at the other tip point. Let's just give it one more try. Doesn't want to go there. I haven't used this IT runner back with milk before, so there it is. So it is that trigger. I was just had the wrong device selected, so my mistake. Welcome along, whoever's just popped in. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, that was the clutch oil that I was burning there. A fair bit of clutch utilised to get rid of get in and out. We should get back a little bit quicker than we got over here. Oh, the other thing we needed to pick up was that cedar from the store too. We're pretty much maxed out on speed. This is really a yard tractor, not a transport tractor. But we're getting the job done. So milk's delivered, it's just the seeding. Oh, fertilizer's done, cows are fed. We need to put some feed in the pig trough. And we need to decide what we're going to plant. Yeah, so I'm thinking grass. We'll just drop some grass in that field, which means we need to cultivate it because we don't have a direct seeder, which will only take a sec. The cultivator's sitting in the middle of the forecourt there. Yeah. Well, it's got a feel to it, this map. That's what I like about it. Let's it feels, it sounds strange to say, but it feels lived in. I reckon we'll just drop this milk container right in front of the milk point. So it just feels to me like that's where it would belong. You're going to fit there without hitting the door. There we go. Ah. Right. Over here out the way. Now that we've got some cash in the bank, we can send you back to the store, pick up the feeder while we figure out the process here. You can go back to vehicle, buy, sell. You want to go the other way, do you? Because I haven't got a two-way auto drive path. That's all right. You can head off up there. Now, let's see here. Which tractor do we want? You finished emptying out. We can drop you off there. Grab our cultivator. And just whip that over the field here. That'll wrap this job. Now we need to unfold you, which means turning you around like so. Overturned. Welcome along, whoever's popped in the background there. Great to have you here. Feel free to lurk as long as you like, or say hello, whatever your choice is. And there we go. Put you up. So this will only take a minute. This is a good wide cultivator for the size of the field. Try not to take out any of our barley on the way past there. He definitely didn't take the route to the shop that I was expecting, but he's on his way. Let's back you up a bit. Oh, that's right. This doesn't like backing, does it? There we go. Don't mind this Fortschritt cultivator. It's In fact, all the portrait gear that we're using on here is working quite nicely for us. It's with the locale and it's doing the job. Just got to generate enough cash to start converting some of the leased gear into purchased. It's the main challenge that we have. Do another headland, I think. Give me room to maneuver, given we're only putting grass in. Terrific. He's got over there, so we can go and hook him up. Get him to come back. With any luck, by the time we're finished, he should be back here. I think I've got a parking spot. Let's just... I have a parking spot set in the center there. I can't tell. Back up there. Round you go. So if you've just joined us, this is just the seeder that was on sale that we took advantage of this morning. We'll just throw some grass in the small field for now. Trailer Park Garden Centre. Okay, so let's go to Trailer Park Garden Centre and we'll try and catch it on the way through the yard. I haven't got a park in the middle of this. Which is something we need. I need to sort of make a parking space over there. So I can drop equipment off here. Yeah, where have you got? You're over here. One thing we know about the little Fortune tractor is it's going to come through here moderately slowly with that buckling cedar on the back. We should have time to jump out and intercept it. Oh. One thing I keep forgetting is this just takes longer to lower than I'm expecting. I wonder what those funny patches I'm getting in the field are. Something weird with the textures. Very odd. Does anyone in chat recognize those? It's almost like a... I've seen something similar to this once or twice before on there's the tractor we want to intercept. We'll just stop you right about here. Bring you forward. Put you on grass seed while I remember. And fill you up with some seed. No, you don't want to fill up with seed. Okay. We'll worry about that afterwards. Let's finish cultivating first. But yes, those patches on the field I've seen on a map before. Something that looked a bit like that. It's very odd. Interesting to see what happens when we seed it, whether it actually goes away. Welcome along, whoever's popped in. Great to have you here. Done it again. Too early. We're just finishing off a little bit of cultivating so we can drop some seed in this area. Our fields are fertilized, so they're doing well. We haven't fertilized this because I only just decided that we were going to put grass in this little patch here. Main reason for grassing it is I think I'll make the barley field a little larger, extend it just across a little bit, and then what's left of this field I think I'll turn into a yard. We might even put a shed on it just to have a little bit more storage here at the center of our operation. And I'm hoping over the next couple of months we'll generate some more, well, we will generate some more cash so that we can buy some more fields maybe down the end there so that we can get a little bit more crop in, because with our growing animal population and the fact that we're running Maize Plus, they're certainly eating more. I'm pretty confident keeping these pigs fed is going to prove a major challenge. However, similarly, with the fact that they're sort of breed at 4 or 5 to 1 because we're running the enhanced animal system. I did that again. Goodness. We should make some good money from them. Get them up to say $1,000 a piece. And we should get a pretty regular income. Let's just bring this over here. Now. Now, in order to load, let's take you off. Actually, let's take you up and do some maintenance, because you were second hand. And it never hurts to make sure the seeder is properly maintained. Spin around, spin around, spin around. A little service bay there, nicely illuminated. For anyone that's not familiar with it, that's the field service trailer mod, which will do fuel and servicing. But if we go in here, we can repair our tractor while we're here, given we worked it so hard before. $130 on the seeder, that's nothing. But if you're not familiar with this mod, so it puts a service port out this side. If you want, you can use the refueling and it'll create a refueling bay on this side. So pretty neat. It is a PC only mod because it runs on a script, but it works a treat. Now, let's bring you back down. Take our yard tractor off. Go over there out the way. What we need is a little box trailer. More one. It's easy to back. Yeah, to load this up. Do I need to unfold you is the question. No. Why have I got no fill point here? It doesn't want to fill. Let's go this side. Will you fill out of a little seed manufacturing? Yes, you will. If I can find seed, there's no seeds in it. Could be. Why have you not got seed? There we go. Just took a minute to get the combination sorted. So we're making barley into seed out of the silo there. Our auger uses an additive to coat the seed. That'll be plenty to grass for that grass. Right, that'll do. There's seeding there. Grass is growing, good. Be interesting to see if we get rid of this weird pattern that the cultivator left behind. What I'm sort of thinking with that field over there, I'm hoping the grass will be ready to cut next month in the field that we've put over there. Even if it's short, it'll do, which allows us to top up the feed for the sheep. And then we can plant sugar beet over the top of it, and we'll put corn back into the field that's on our right hand side here, because that worked pretty well last time, although we need more corn, I suspect. So then we start looking for bigger areas so that we can increase the crop volume. Because this will be the first year we've got all of the crop types that we need for our feed for our animals. coming along nicely. And we had a few people pop through and lurk despite FSG's competition. Not that it was really a competition. That would be just foolish. One of those things you can't win. Not paying too much attention to the quality of my cornering. No, we're not doing too badly. And we are getting rid of that funny texture that popped up when we cultivated it, so that's good. Everything's looking fairly normal. I can't remember if we've got a roller here, so we may run the roller over it just because. We do need a little trailer so that things like this, we need a small amount of this brewer's grain, which I think is the right hand silo there, which we'll take up to the pigs in just a minute. That's the food group that they've run out of, or one of them. The other thing that we were looking at is a trailer which has got I think it's called the Beat Ninja. It's got a inbuilt beet cutter on the back of it, so, but that's from memory 51,000, hasn't appeared in a sale, so we need to save up for that. Always demands on our cash. This job's almost done. Actually, what we'll do to do the brewer's grain, we'll put the bucket back on the front of the front loader, and we'll just take a bucket load or two there as we check on the pigs. I think that's a higher priority job than rolling, to be honest, if I've even got a roller. Missed a stripe. Myself enough room to get that stripe. 2 more. Right. Over we go. That one field grassed. Probably put you away for the minute. Those 2 boxes of seed, which I should be able to put in that seed tender that's up in the other shed. And I'm not seeing a roller there. Only the mulcher, so let's come over and do this. He spends all his time, this bloke, changing gears in this tractor. I'm pretty sure the one we want is this first one. $2,000 litres. Go see what effect we have on the pigs. Yeah, that grass should be ready to take a cut off next time, so that'll be all right. And then we'll put the sugar beet down in that field. Coming up with some manure. Right, so pigs. Let's have a look here. The pigs are out of protein food, and what I'm hoping is that this brewer's grain that we've got here, pigs, protein food, brewer's grain, that's the symbol that we've got down the bottom there. Beautiful. The question is, how much do we need to sort of balance it out? So 2,000 litres wasn't too bad. What's the concentrate? That's the grist that's down in the other trailer, I think. I reckon we give them at least 2 more of these, because what's that, 10? That's going to be 30. Yeah, so we're going to need at least 2 more scoops of that, and then a bunch of the 40% to make them happy. Just put that manure pad just a fraction too close, didn't I? Yes, this is where a little trailer that would hold, say, 8,000 litres would be just ideal. Single axle, even 6,000 would work. Just for topping up the feed up here. think it's actually possible. We might try it in a future stream. I think it's possible with the Maize Plus on now to actually use the mixing wagon to make a mix of pig food. Which would be kind of interesting. So I could mix it all down in the yard and then just bring a trailer load of that up. Which probably wouldn't be a bad thing. Last one. So that is much better. So now if we just get the 40%, which I'm pretty sure is down in that. We'll use the other tractor because that trailer will be too heavy for this. That snow is going to sit there all morning. Really interesting. That one will do. Don't know how much we've got in here. So let's just check that that corn grist is actually what we want. Yep, corn grain grist. That's the one. We got 10,000 litres. We might as well pour it all in because there's nowhere else to store it, and we don't need it for the other animals. So that'll be fine. That gets this trailer empty, which is also not a bad thing. Using the grain door. Right, so that's empty. So let's have a look here. Okay, so the pigs look much healthier in terms of feed levels. We will cut some grass for the sheep next time, but they're not in bad shape. They won't eat all of that. When do we next breed? So we must be coming up next month. Be interesting to see how many sheep we breed, because this will be the first time they've reproduced since we put the enhanced animal mod on. So we'll get some more sheep. We've got a ways to go before our cows reproduce. So the animals are all set, which is good. I think we'll leave the trailer up here in our trailer park. Just makes a little more space down below. So the challenge is really going to be, even with that field back with corn again, we're not going to get enough corn off it for the growing population that we've got. Although what's running over here? You are idling, aren't you? So if we how much have we got in here? So we've still got 100,000 of maize silage. So this is going to feed the cows for ages, which means we don't need to make maize silage in the coming year. We can just get full corn off the cornfields. Which might just be enough corn to tide us over. So, how much seed was up in that seed tender? Let's have a look. 6,000 litres, so we'll grab that box of seed. Grab the partial first. You in there? No. Not with the cover. Can I open the cover manually? I cannot without something connected to it. Okay. Well, I'm thinking that's getting very close to where we might call it for today. Turn you off. That's been a we've got through. Oh no, we haven't. We haven't quite got through everything I wanted to do, because I wanted to put more fertilizer into our productions up at the garden centre. That was why we bought all the extra fertilizer, so we'll just get that job done. And we will check whether the distributor has in fact distributed any of the fertilizer that it had in it, because that'll determine whether we put this in the distributor or whether we put it in the directly into the greenhouses themselves. So let's just see here. The fact that there's nothing growing over there, it's the bamboo and aloe vera plants that need it. Distributor. Yep, so it hasn't distributed either the seeds or the fertilizer, which is really odd. Oh, it has distributed a little bit of seed, not very much though. So I can't explain why that's not working. Let's deactivate the water, see if that makes any difference. But in the meantime, come up, bamboo and aloe vera. So you've got a little bit. 3 of you have got some. You're just not running. It's just getting it really slowly. That's the issue. The distribution is actually operating really slow. Okay, so let's come down here. Because this is where they are. So we'll take somewhere along here. Is that your point? The reason I liked the idea of the distributor is that this was just a challenging way to do it, but what I'm thinking we might do is again another little trailer and do an auto drive course that runs through here with a little trailer on the back of something. Because it could do a circuit and just fill these up. Sort of like a I'm thinking with a golf, not a golf cart, like the Mahindra or the little John Deere, something like that. So between streams, I can go and get the other fertilizer and bring that over so that we can top these up. Because if we look at these now, Peter, how are you? Hope you are well this morning. Lodge 1 is sitting there. It's great to have you along. You've popped in at the end. I'm just getting to the close here, but so we've got 1,000 fertilizer in there. We've got 1,000 fertilizer in there, and down here somewhere we've got 1,000 fertilizer in there. We'll turn on aloe vera. We've only got 250. We won't worry about that one for the minute. We'll turn on aloe vera in there. Right. So, the views are popping up. Everybody's jumping in. So my guess is FSG may actually have finished streaming, and a couple of people might have jumped across just to see what was happening. But as I said, we're just about to finish. And we're just checking because our distributor is still not working properly, despite a little modification I made to it. It just does not want to distribute seeds and fertilizer at anything approaching a reasonable rate. It is sending water around just fine, so everything's topped up with water. Oh, we will go and have a look at just before we finish up. We will just go and check how the sheep output is going, whether there's wool that needs to move to the spinnery. But that's really the last job for the day, I think. Vegetables are all growing fine there. They're loading. Honey's progressively loading into our, and we do have a pallet of wool which we can move while we're here because we can. Might as well take the partial. Oh, where is it? There it is. So the spinnery, it's not really worth running for 1440. Yeah, we haven't even got a month's worth of operation, so we'll leave that. So I think that, folks, might be where we leave the action today. It's in a good spot. We got everything done. We're going to be planting corn next time, which will mean we need to figure out a planter, because I don't think we've got one hiding over there in the shed. No, we do not. We couldn't afford the one that came up second hand when it was on offer. But we have now got our own seeder, so if we finish with having a look in the second hand. Oh, one of those. What's ours, OS? Forestry equipment. We own the one we have by the looks. Ours is worth less anyway, so. That's where we stand at the minute. But that's where we might where we might leave it for now. We'll get the cultivator back going first thing next time and get that cornfield cultivated, and we'll get the grass off this field next time, and put sugar beet in here. But until then, thank you very much for joining me today. A big shout out to Hodge173 who kept me company the whole day today while we had FSG streaming in parallel, and I'm sure attracting lots of eyeballs. So thank you very much, Hodge1, and to all those that have joined, great to see you. Catch up on the stream on replay. There'll be another Griffin video out in the next day or two, and then hopefully back to 2 videos in each series, Silver Run Forest Farm and Griffin, Indiana, next week. But until next time, I'll be back on the normal time slot, Tuesday morning for me, Monday afternoon, evening for the US and Europe. I haven't decided if I'll do a Monday evening Oz time stream, so, but next week's basically the normal schedule. So thanks for watching, catch you next time, see ya.